You guys are just leaving the other protest that's happening. One of the many protests that's happening today. You came in town to DC from where, and what would you like to share about yourselves?
Sure. So we came from Maryland. We live in Calvert County, and I'm in education.
And I'm a federal worker.
What are your top concerns today? What made you leave the comfort of your homes?
There are just many things that are happening. Lack of due process, taking away government agencies' responsibilities that we need as Americans. Our children are looking for employment, and they're cutting FEMA, which is something our daughter's planning to do AmeriCorps. And so there's just a lot of things that are happening that are not right.
Right, and a president that said that he was going to fix the economy, make prices go down, and we didn't believe that, and now we certainly have proof of that that's not going to happen. And so, as my wife said, just so many issues, and we just wanted to join everybody else and speak up.
Do you think democracy will survive? Did you reach out to your representatives on Capitol Hill?
We have. That's been something that I've been very active in over the last couple months, ever since the new administration came into place, and it's just the process that we hoped was going to lead to more action, particularly on part of the legislature, and we've been a little disappointed.
I think also, we are, being in Maryland, our representatives are Democrats, and they are standing up. And Cory Booker did a great job with his
New Jersey
speech. But we need the Republicans to stand up. And I think, I'm hoping that it's going to be a step too far. I think democracy can survive, but I think that people who have been silent need to not be silent, and we have to demonstrate that we're not happy with what's going on.
Silence is complicity, isn't it? In whichever issue you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Do you have any Republican representatives at the current moment, senators or?
At the local level, definitely. We live in what you would say is a red county, but it's fine to have your political affiliations and so forth. What I think we have the biggest problem with is the behavior of this incoming administration and the complicity of the Republicans in the legislature, and unfortunately the conservative side of the Supreme Court that seems to be supporting what these folks are doing.
What do you think about the way Doge is doing the cutting, the chainsaw effect?
I can speak to that personally. As a federal employee, I've over 33 years of federal service, the first few in the U.S. Army and the last 30 as a federal employee. And honestly, there are so many better ways to go about doing this. Did we need some improvements? Is there some waste and so forth? Of course, I think we can all agree to that. But there's a way to do this humanly and giving people dignity and so forth, and that is not what I've experienced.
Did you get the email, what did you do last week?
Yes. And I have been reporting dutifully what I've been doing in my 5 bullets since all of that came out, because we're going to at least try to follow the rules even if they don't.
It does seem to be that federal workers are treated disrespectfully. You say you worked 33 years?
So 30 years as a federal employee after my Army service. And yes, I became a Fed because I wanted to still serve, and I appreciate the mission that we have in our agency. And I was, given in return respect and dignity and good living and good benefits for me and my family. And now all of a sudden we're the enemy, and we're being assaulted. And I can't begin to tell you how upsetting it is and how angry it makes me and upset. But that's part of the reason that we came down here.
Do you feel like it's a shock or slap in? I mean, what is the primary feeling that comes from the way federal workers are treated?
For me, absolutely, it's shock, and that was their intent, right? Shock and awe. These are terms that were used when I was in the military, right?
For the Iraq War, 2003.
Exactly, and so now it's about turning that against, the very people that work for this president, and And so it's despicable as far as I'm concerned.
And you're a teacher.
I work for Calvert County. Yes, I work in education.
What's happening in
Right
education?
now, so the biggest thing is that our COVID funds that Maryland has already spent, we've been told that they're just not going to pay for them. So Maryland is now facing a $3.8 million shortfall that's going to come from somewhere, and probably it'll come from the local counties, and that means less staff to support our children. And it's just what is going to happen with Title I, we don't know. What's going to happen with Head Start, we don't know. And that's what's really hard, is we need to start planning and hiring and doing all those things, but
I'm familiar with Title I. I used to cover education as a reporter. Do you serve a Title I school, and can you? I mean, those are the most high need schools.
So we have a few Title I schools in our county. We are overall a fairly wealthy district, but we do have several Title I schools, and yeah, they are our neediest kids. Head Start is why we have Head Start, is so that our kiddos that need that sort of jump start and that experience to really be ready for kindergarten can have it. And it's just an unknown. So are we going to have to transfer that to our local budget? Well, we probably will, but then what is the impact of that, right? Do our first grade classes need to go to 27, 28, 29 because we can't we have to fund that. That means we can't hire more teachers. So there's
a lot of uncertainty, just like the economy.
And there will be impacts.
Do you have more hope, having come today and been around other people who are showing up?
I found it energizing. I found it so heartening to see how many people are out there fighting the fight, and there's so many things to fight for, and they were speaking to all of them. And the sense of humor that people were showing too, it was...
There are some pretty great signs out there.
So yes, to answer your question, absolutely.
And just for the record, do I have permission to share this interview on my YouTube channel?
You do.
Sure.
Thanks so much,
All right.
you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Appreciate it.
I hope you get some great